Hi. Well, sorry I'm late, but I did it all, and then I realised I was talking to myself because I hadn't made it public. Mm, you know. So sorry if you were waiting for me to arrive, but I've arrived, and to prove it, I'm here. Honestly. Activate Windows. No, I don't want to activate Windows. Oh, God. Hey, Nathan. What are they? Oh. Hi, Esther. Well, I was doing all right till I realised I was talking to myself. I thought it's a bit funny, nobody's come on. And then I realised it hadn't gone public. It was just me chatting away to my little old self. You know, it does it sometimes. It kind of like skips over the bit where you're supposed to put a tick to say you're going public. And it went, and I didn't realise. And it was only when nobody came in and nobody came, and I'm thinking, it's a bit funny this. Nobody said hello to me or anything, a bit weird. And I thought, I'm going to better check something. So I had to start all over again then. It doesn't let you just go back a page and make it go live. You have to go back to the beginning, yeah. Thumbs up, people. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Come on, peoples. I've only got 4. I'm feeling deprived. I'm taking my tablets because I've got bad back. Got bad back today. I'm feeling a bit grim, but you don't want to know, do you? So I'm taking my Nurofen. Not supposed to have them because they upset my stomach, but hey ho. You've got a choice, haven't you? They work on the pain or they upset your stomach. You've got 2 choices. So I've decided to go with the maybe upset the stomach. Now, come on, people. I've got 15 people in the room and only 6 thumbs up. You're not obeying the rules. It doesn't cost you anything, to put your thumb in the air. Right, let me see. On my old WhatsApp group for my page where I used to live, somebody is asking, does somebody want a big bag of swizzles? Look at a huge bag of swizzles. Anyway, of course, the rest of the street has all joined in saying, yes, please. I'm glad I'm not on the street, otherwise I might be saying yes, please. Why does it say to go to settings to activate Windows? I don't want to. The weather is cold, but it's not raining, so that's a plus. Hi, Enid. Hi, Val. I can't get rid of this. I can't get rid of it. It's just telling me to activate my Windows, and I don't want to. And I can't get rid of it. Go to settings to activate Windows. No, I don't want to. And it's hiding what people are saying to me at the bottom. Oh, come on. I've still only got 9 thumbs up. Hi, Val. You've got an enemy out there. Well, I've got a few. Have you only got one, Enid? I think there's a few of us who's got a few. Hi, Helen. Somebody's disliking it. I thought they couldn't do that anymore. I thought they couldn't do thumbs down anymore. I used to get somebody who used to thumbs down every one of my videos about 2 seconds in. And I'm like, oh, come on, be fair. At least watch them. Watch part of them. I used to put my video up live and watch. And within 2 seconds of it going live, boom, dislike. And I'm thinking, oh, come off it. Come off it, yeah. It'll be the same person. It's some idiot, Edie. Don't let it worry you. Just say hello to my disliker. How many seconds will you leave it before you do the thumbs down? Oh, don't let it worry you. It's cold, is it? It's cold in the Costa del Gateshead. Well, I have to be truthful. I haven't actually been out today, so I don't know if it's cold or not. Yeah, the ice is gone. It didn't last long, did it, Val? Not really. Not when I look at some people crunching down the road in different parts of the country. I've got my lovely Frida Kahlo mug, and it's China, so it actually works on my. I've got a. My son bought me a. Oh, I can't show it you, can I? A warmer. When you put your coffee on it, it keeps it warm. But it doesn't work with ordinary beakers, but it does actually work with China. So it's keeping me coffee nice and warm. Yeah. Oh, who's come on since I've been? Um, Munchkin. Hi, Munchkin. Yeah. It's 40 degrees. Well, that's quite warm actually for here. You still got the snow, have you, Helen? Well, don't tell everybody because they might want it, yeah. Well, I've knitted another hat. You know, I made that. Well, if you watched my Facebook page, you know I made a hat. It's some yarn, well, wool. I can say wool because it was wool. It was merino. And I made myself a hat because I've had it for about 3 years. So I wore it the other day, and my friend said, "Oh, I like that." I said, "Well, go to the market. We'll get some super chunky." Obviously, it's not merino. She's had to put up with acrylic. So I've made a hat. But because it's acrylic, it's actually, where have I done with the other needle now? I can't knit with what is it? I can't knit with one needle. The neck warmer's actually going farther. So I'm doing like a little, bit, I think we used to call them a dicky, if you're allowed to say that word, that just goes down inside your coat. So I'm doing one of them for her now. Yeah. 14 thumbs up, 15 thumbs up now, and 29 people in the room. That means that, like so many people are just not liking me. Do you think you're not liked? Eat it. Right, who forgot now? Hi, Sean. Well, I was late actually because I did my live video and realised I hadn't made it public, and I was sat here for 10 minutes talking to myself. And I thought it's a bit weird that nobody said hello. And it dawned on me what had happened, yeah. Hi, Linda. You didn't win on the bingo. I can't win an argument, Linda, so you're not on your own. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm going to knit now until I get to the end of my wool. And then I'll sew it up. It's like a polo neck to go with the hat. If you saw my picture, it looked like I got a balaclava on. And I had it on when we went out on Thursday. I had it on, and my mate said to me, "Oh, that looks nice and warm." I said, "Well, we're near the market. We'll call in the market, and if you buy 3 balls of, because it took 3 balls of the merino to do the hat and that." So I said, "Get 3 balls." But then I realised but it only took 2 and a bit to do the net thing. So I thought, well, I'll do her a bit that comes down the front and a bit that goes down the back. They're like a fake bit. They were all the rage years ago. I don't know whether you ever remember them. My mum made me a few. But she did mine in double knit, and they were just like a collar, and then she increased, so it was like a round yoke. Because my best coat at the time, because we only had one in those days, didn't we? Had a V-neck. So unless you had a scarf on, it was a bit chilly. So she made me this like fake front bits. And then I made my ex-husband one because he used to ride a motorbike. So he wanted something a bit warmer on his chest, yeah. Yeah. They're coming back in fashion. Well, I should think, this coming cold weather. While I was getting ready, I was just listening to a little video on YouTube, and it was like this over 60s channel or something, talking about this making people pay for the prescriptions until they reach pensionable age, which is like 67, I think now. And I'm thinking, God, they really want us all to die off, don't they? I sadly have to get loads of prescriptions each month. I'm not happy about it, and I wish I didn't have to have it. But I couldn't afford it. They made me pay for mine. So that means that people wouldn't be getting the prescriptions and they'd all be dying off, which is just what you Starmer wants, doesn't it? Wants us all to die. So can I hurry up and die, please, because I'm costing the government money. Oh, what a cheerful subject, yeah. Yeah. So I'm missing on whopping needles, 9mm needles. It's nice wool. Well, it's not wool, is it? Nice yarn, this. It's, what is it? Hayfield Bonus Super Chunky. And the colour is peacock. Peacock. The first colour she picked up was black. I went, you're joking. I said, think about my eyeballs. I said, no, sorry, mate. No, pick another colour. She said, yeah, but black goes with everything. I said, I know, but you're not having it. It's like a cowl, but it's not a cowl. It's more like a polo neck with a bit hanging down the front and the back. A cowl tends to go that way round and tends to be massive, doesn't it? I don't like cowls. I don't know how to wear them. I'd rather have a shawl, a scarf, I mean. Yeah, hay feels nice. It's quite stiff, actually, this, even on 9mm needles. It's quite stiff. No, I never know quite how to wear a cowl. I've made short scarves, that you fasten with a button or fasten with a brooch. I find those are nice and warm, but a cowl, it seems to come away from my neck and the wind blows down somehow or another, yeah. Hi, Connie. They look more decorative, but, if you're wearing them for decoration rather than warmth, which, when you live where I do, it's definitely for warmth, yeah. Hey, hi, Julian. I have to wait. I've got this silly message at the bottom of the conversation that says activate your Windows now. And I know if I press it, it says go to settings. So it'll take me off YouTube. So unfortunately, it's written across the bottom of where the people are sending me messages. So I have to wait until they go up a bit. So if I don't answer you right away, it's because you've got to go a bit further up before I can see you. Oh, life gets tedious, don't it? Yeah. So anyway, I'm glad I've made a hat. I've not done bad, really. It only took me a little while. I must confess, with hers, I've cheated. And it's actually got, as Z would call it, a San Andreas fault. It's got a seam up the back. I did mine on 4 needles, going round and round and round. But it took me ages, so I thought, well, I'll cheat. I'll do hers on the 2 needles, because I'm much quicker with 2 needles. Right, so come on now. If you've seen my title, it's time to confess. Have you got millions of works in progress? And if so, do you plan to finish them off? Or are you going to be one of these people who casts on 12 things, having a cast-on party, which I can't see the point of, actually, to be honest with you. I cannot see the point of casting about 12 things on and then knitting on them in rotation. I mean, sorry, I know Denise does, and it suits Denise fine, but it wouldn't do for me. It tends to be out of sight, out of mind with me, yeah? Once I put it in a bag, that's it. I might as well just get rid of it and never see it again, yeah? Hi, Lisa. You're going to finish your old your old whips up. I thought you were going to say your old wine. You knitted on a worm. Oh dear, no, I can't cope with them. I suppose it's because I'm not used to knitting loose. I've got to knit with a needle under my arm. Yeah, you can't see, can you? But oh, let me move the camera down a bit. I have to knit like that. I have to knit like that. I can't knit like that. I can't. I just can't. Look how slow it is. I can't knit like that. It drives me potty. I have to knit like that so that I can get along the row faster. Just the way I am. I don't like knitting slow. I mean, I do watch some people who do these videos and they're knitting so slow, and I'm like, oh, hurry up, love. You never get to the end of that row. Val's got two, but Val has to do a confession, don't you hear? She's unravelled her lilac cardigan again because she made it too big again. Val, will you not realise you're not as big as you think you are? I keep telling her that. You know, there's somebody else who crochets and knits for themselves, and they must think they're size 26 or something because they make everything way too big. Yeah. You're working on finishing your 10-year-old cross stitch. We'll have to have a party when you finish that one, Enid. Woohoo! Yeah, you're not having any wine. No, neither am I. I've got my coffee. Yeah. Hi, Lizzie. It's not so warm here, love. It's not freezing, but it's not so warm, yeah. Yeah, you knit tighter with a needle under your arm. I do, and I knit faster as well. I can't knit free. I don't know what there is. You're starting again. What did Eric say when he unravelled it again, or did you do it on the quiet? Val had already knitted this cardigan and it was way, way too big because she picked a pattern that just was too big. So she undid it. So she said to me the other day, you never guess. She said, it's too big again. I'm going to have to unravel it. And Eric, that's her husband. She said, I don't know what he'll say when he sees me unraveling it again. You're moving on to the second 10-year cross. Oh, that's why I wouldn't want to do cross stitch. It's a very slow, what they call it, slow stitching. There's videos on entitled that, isn't there? Slow stitching. Yeah. I do like watching people doing, you know. I told you before I watched this Japanese lady and she does some beautiful embroidery and stuff. And I'm fascinated watching it. I couldn't do it. Saved my skin, I couldn't do it. Yeah. You spasm in your, oh God, I've got a spasm in my back today. So, yeah. I know. Snap, Sean, snap. It's fun, innit? Yeah. But I'm not going to be downhearted. I've took my pills that I shouldn't be having. And I'm going to try and be cheerful. You got your tiger on the rock cross stitch to finish. You know, you'll have to put all these finished things on the page on Facebook just to prove to everybody that you've done, yeah? We're going to have a work in progress January. And if you're not a member, why not? Because I should have invited you, and if they haven't, let me know, yeah? But I've got to know your proper name, not your Munchkin name or whatever. Sorry, Munchkin. But I can't invite you under Munchkin if you're not called Munchkin on Facebook. He said, why don't you get a proper pattern? Because you like living on the edge, don't you, Val? Yeah. We like living dangerously, don't we? It's on Facebook, yes. It's called Saturday Night Crafting. And it's a private group. There's only us that are members that can see it. Because we don't want any wallies coming on, do we? You know, telling us how beautiful we are and, you know, can they be our partner for life and all that. And by the way, can you send $100 out? You know, no, we don't want any of them. It's got to be, you know, other members can invite other members as long as they can vouch for them. It doesn't have to be me that invites you, yeah? But like I said, we don't want any wallies, do we? You know, we want to keep it amongst ourselves, you know, keep it private. Private members club, that's what we should call it, shouldn't we? Oh, it sounds a bit dodgy, that, though, doesn't it? I'm thinking of perfume or, you know, Mandy Rice Davis. You're cheerfully, yeah, I know we have to be, don't we, Sean? We have to be. You know, I've always said it doesn't make the pain any better being miserable. It doesn't. You know, if you walk around going, oh, it doesn't make it any better. Just makes everybody avoid you, you know. Oh, yeah, join it. Somebody invite Lisa, will you? If you know who her name is. Or if you're on my ordinary Facebook, if you send me a private message with your name, then I'll add you. Yeah. As I said, anybody who knows you can add you. You don't have to be me to add people to that. You know, it's not that private. That there's only me, like little dictator, that can invite people. It's not that like that at all. No. As long as you're friends, as long as you know them and you can vouch for them, you can add them. Yeah. It's just somewhere where we can have a little bit of a brag, if you want to call it that, about our things we've finished. Because I'm not always wanting to put things on what I call my normal Facebook, because it just looks like you're wanting people to say, oh, how beautiful, oh, how lovely, aren't you talented? Which to me, I just want to show my like-minded friends that I've actually finished something. Yeah. It's not like, wow, look at me, aren't I great? You know, it's not that. That's not my attitude. My attitude is, wow, praise me, I've actually finished something. Yeah, I'm a Wally too, Shan, so you're in good company. Yeah, it's good when the world's full of Wallies, isn't it? Yeah. There's so much going on in the world at the moment that makes you feel miserable. You turn on the news, don't you? You open up a newspaper, and it's all horrendous news. Horrendous, yeah. But you have to think of other things, because otherwise you get so depressed, yeah. No, I'm not an attention seeker. I don't want to put it to the masses on Facebook saying, wowie, look at me, great, great, great. But I do want my friends to see that I finished something. Janet has achieved something this week. She's actually finished something, yeah. But, hi, Chris. Not that I've got that many friends on Facebook. I'm not one of these with a million friends, you know. I think I've got about 30 or something. But I know them all, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah. Hi, Christopher. How is you today? At least you can grow them, Sean. I'm a kiss of death with anything green. I'm just not green. My mother was, she was so green fingered it was untrue. She'd just take a cutting like that and stick it in the ground and it'd grow. I'd be there nurturing it and doing everything, and it still died, yeah. Lip syncing Godzilla. Sorry, Chris. I hate it when that happens. I had a camera once years ago that when I uploaded my videos, my mouth was and it was saying something completely different. Oh, I can't grow veg. I'm useless. I did try with a few lettuce once, and I did actually grow some tomatoes when I lived in Prestwich. One year they grew beautiful. I mean, you don't grow them for the cheapness, do you? You grow them because it's like a hobby, and you grow them because you like the taste. But let's be honest about it, you can get them cheaper in the supermarket, can't you? But one year I grew them and they were beautiful and they tasted gorgeous. And the year after, they all got the blight, yeah. Yeah, badly dubbed. You're thinking a monkey, aren't you? Irene used to watch that monkey. When they go, and I was saying to Ariane, what did he say? And he goes, I don't know. It's like, hi Mimi. If I've not said Happy New Year to anybody, Happy New Year, yeah. Oh, spaghetti westerns, yeah. As long as they had. I watched a thing about Vera, you know, the Vera that comes on the telly, and it showed it dubbed in another another language, and it was just like, what? Strange. You know, Vera going, what then? Oh dear. Yeah, Happy New Year to anybody I've missed. If you didn't come on, was it last week when I said Happy New Year? Happy New Year, Happy New Year. Oh, I better not start singing. I might be losing subscribers. I ain't got that many. Not got that many, so I don't want to lose any. You saw Peppa Pig dubbed? No, I saw Vera. I think she was dubbed in Chinese or something. It just wasn't Vera, you know. Oh dear. I wonder if they'll dub me in Chinese. Not that anybody watches me, but you know. Oh dear. Then Chris would have trouble with my mouth not moving at the same time as me if they were dubbing me into another language, yeah. Do you ever read the subtitles for some people? And the subtitle says absolutely nothing like what they're actually saying, you know? And you're like, oh, yeah. Right, right. I mean, I don't know whether I'm going deaf or daft or what, but sometimes on the telly, you can't tell what they're saying, can you? You know, they turn away. A strong Glasgow accent. What am I knitting? I'm knitting. Well, I've made one for myself and my friend loved it, so I'm making one for her. It's a hat in super chunky, and I'm making the cowl bit that goes with it now. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I watch it sometimes, and when you like watching, yeah, if it's a different language, you wouldn't know, would you? But when you put it on because you can't hear what a person's saying, and you put it on because like maybe I'm watching it on the telly and maybe they've gone to bed, so I'll lower the sound down. So I put the words on then, you know, even though they're speaking in English or British or whatever you want to call it. But I'm looking and I'm thinking, that's not what they've just said. Yeah. No, I'd like them to dub me in something like Japanese or something, you know, just to see what I sounded like. And I'm going, oh, oh dear. Yeah, it's funny. It's good though because like I watch a program. It's called Talking TV, Talking Pictures TV or something, TPTV, and they sometimes have things like May Gray in the original French. Yeah, so I have to have the subtitles on that. No, it is difficult to do subtitles and knit. It's man, yeah, you know, it's not so bad if you're doing stocking stitch. You can sort of feel your way along, can't you? But if you're doing a pattern, forget it. Oh, it keeps switching itself off. Even though, you know, I'm could be watching something, and if it's something I really, really want to watch, I can't knit or anything because I'm too busy watching the screens. Yeah. I know somebody said to me once in the comment saying, you know, you should activate whatever it is. And I thought, I can't do that. I thought I had. I should activate the, you know, the subtitles or something. And I thought, I went into it all and I thought I actually had. But maybe I didn't, yeah. But sometimes, you know, sometimes the subtitles say something quite rude, actually, you know. And I was watching something that was in Chinese or something, and it was really horrible what they were writing underneath. And I'm thinking, whoever's translated this, you know, is having a laugh because it was nothing to do with what was on the screen. And they were just saying something really stupid. And I felt like writing, I thought, nah. Felt like writing on the comments saying, whoever's doing your voiceovers or whatever, they're talking about something completely different to what you're talking about. I won't say they were rude, but they were getting a bit near the knuckle. I'll tell you what I don't like. I love listening to short stories while I'm knitting or while I'm trying to go to sleep. And those are they called AI voices, those automated voices, where they stop in all the wrong places. And, you know, instead of saying like £5,000, they'll say £5 zero zero zero. And you're like, what? I was watching one the other day and it was, oh, they were pausing where there was no pauses and they weren't pausing at this full stop. They were just carrying on. And I'm like, I know it's AI or whatever they call it, A1 AI or something, but surely they could get somebody to read it properly. Some out to work actor wouldn't want that much, would they, to read it? We'd probably pay more to have an AI thing, whatever it is, yeah. No, I don't remember that munchkin, no. Mind you, if you weren't deaf, you wouldn't know, would you? You wouldn't know what he was saying. They used to have it on, I think it was BBC Two. They used to have a little bloke at the corner, or a woman at the corner doing the sign language. It was very good for anybody who was deaf, but it was a bit distracting for everybody else, yeah. But I think I'll just knit till the end of my wool, or then again it might be a bit long actually. I don't know. I've knitted one side, but that could be the back if the front's longer. Can you imagine if anybody was reading a knitting pattern or a crochet pattern in that A1 or AI or whatever the hell it is? Can you imagine that? It's bad enough when you ask somebody who doesn't knit, can you read that pattern for me? And they get K2 tog, don't they? you know. Can you imagine an AI voice doing it? If you had to, I used to have a customer that was blind, and she used to get somebody to read, and record like a pattern, or she'd have it translated into Braille. But it was harder for her to get it translated into Braille because A, it cost a lot of money, and B, it took a long time to do it. So she would sometimes get a friend to read it onto a tape recorder or something, so that she could, whatever. But she said it was, she kind of has to get somebody who understood knitting, or she would get this K2 tog, all that stuff. you know, People wouldn't read it who were a knitter, if you know what I mean. You managed to make the coffee. Good show, yeah. I mean, sometimes when I'm reading a knitting pattern, I'm thinking, what on earth do they mean? And you go back to the abbreviations and you don't kind of like understand the abbreviations, and you're thinking, am I thick? I've been knitting all this time. Why do I not understand what they're talking about? And this slip two this way, slip two back again, then knit them. And I'm like, why don't you just say knit two through the back loop? You don't need to swap them onto one needle, swap them back again, and then knit them. I'm like, that's going round the houses, you know what I mean? YouTube does help, but my argument is YouTube makes people lazy. Instead of learning how to read a pattern, they rely on YouTube to tell them everything. So when they do get a pattern that isn't on YouTube, they're stuck and they don't know what to do. But like my generation, we had to learn. I mean, I can remember when Kelly made a sock pattern, and this woman wrote her a very snotty, email back again. because she hadn't put at the end of every decrease row how many stitches she should have. And I'm like, well, surely if you're decreasing 2 stitches every 2 or 3 rows, you should know how many stitches you have left. You've got 2 less than you did on the row below, you know. And she was really snotty with her. And then when it got to the pattern bit, she said, well, I can't keep the pattern straight when it decreases. You should write every row out. And Kelly said, well, I'll have to write a book, you know. I mean, they'd never knit a vintage pattern. A lot of the modern knitters wouldn't knit a vintage pattern because they tell you nothing, yeah. They say knit the left-hand side to match the right-hand side, reversing all the shapings, yeah. No, some people want you to put at the end of every row how many stitches you should have left when you're decreasing 2 stitches at the end of it. I mean, when our old patterns used to say, decrease at each end of every other row until you get to 20 stitches. Fine. Not a knitter that's new now. They want you to say every single row. And they want you to put at the end of the row how many stitches you should have left when you've done a row. And I'm like, it'd be a book, wouldn't it? Not a pattern, it would be a book, yeah. I prefer vintage patterns, to be quite honest with you. I think less is more, yeah. I prefer it to say, decrease each end of every row until you get so many stitches. I prefer it that way. I don't want them to tell me. They might tell me how to do the decrease for one row. You know, like I'm a knitting 2 and then decreasing, I'm a knitting 1 and then decreasing. Depends which way your raglan is, whether it's fancy or whether it's just knit 2 together on the end, yeah? Yeah, I can understand that. But I don't want them to tell me everything. In fact, it puts me off. When I see patterns and then I think, oh God, I can't be bothered. Too much information. I'm overloaded, you know. I'm a minimal girl when it comes to patterns, minimalistic. Not in anything else. I mean, definitely not with my crocheting or my knitting. But I'm definitely not minimalistic when it comes to that. Although I am a bit weird about, I've never ever had a lot of works in progress. Ever, ever. I think that comes from my mum, you know. You just did one start to finish and then you started another one start to finish. I must admit, when I was at the shop, I used to have 2 because I'd have one at the shop that I didn't bring home and one at home that I didn't take to the shop, yeah? So I did used to have 2 things going. Or sometimes I like something knitted and something crochet. Yeah, Jean Green. Oh, yeah. The number of people who couldn't do a Jean Greenhow pattern is legendary, thanks, Sean. Jean Greenhow made knitting patterns for little animals' toys. Amigurumi, they call them now. We just used to call them toys. And she did some fantastic patterns. In fact, I think I've still got some in the shed, actually. But the number of people, oh, every day when I was at the shop, somebody would come in with their knitting. Didn't mind if it was my pattern and my wool. But the cheeky little so-and-sos used to come in. Didn't mind so much about the pattern. But they'd come in and they bought the wool off the market. And they'd say, well, it's your pattern. Can't you not help me? And I'm like, that's just rubbing it in, isn't it, you know? When they wanted me to help them to turn a heel or something in a sock. And they didn't even buy the sock wool from me. I'm like, you feel like saying, oh, yours, dear, go back to where you bought the wool from. It must be worse now for wool shops because people buy things online, don't they? Yeah. I've made, in fact, I found some pictures. You know, you get your memories coming up on Facebook. When I used to go to the knit club at the King's Arms, I think it was called. Yeah, the King's Arms, not the Queen's, it was King's. We did a whole knitted Christmas tree. We all did something, you know. We did little icicles, Santa Clauses and everything. And I found all the pictures of all the ones I'd done, and I thought, my goodness, I didn't know I could do things like that. Can't do them now. Short rows, you've got to be careful you don't leave a hole, don't you? You know, when you're doing short rows on a sock heel, you've got to be so careful not to leave a, you know, a gap. My main problem is I don't knit even. I don't know whether it's my knit row or my purl row that's slacker. So it's like in 2 rows, my knitting, 2 rows, 2 rows. It's not in like even. I don't think you can see it on there, but you can see it's like 2 rows and 2 rows and 2 rows. There's a distinct line between each 2 rows. Oh, knitting loops. You knit your finger in, don't you? Can't get your finger out. You can see what I do, Lisa, yeah. The lady said to me, what pattern are you doing? I went, stocking stitch. She was, oh. I thought, yeah. I've tried experimenting with different needles, like doing a smaller needle for the knit row. And then I've tried doing it a smaller needle for the purl row, you know, to see whether I can even it up. But I never managed to sort out. I've definitely got my knit row and my purl row are different tensions. You can see it on that side even. It's like ridgy. Oh, my mum made me a beautiful loopy jacket when it was fashionable, going back when I was in my 20s. And I actually got attached to Tony Christie. I was walking past him, minding my own business in the foyer, and he had beautiful gold cufflinks, you know, with a loop thing. Beautiful. He got it caught in my jumper as I was going past. I don't ask me why I was doing that close to him, but we got bonded together by his cufflink. And he was really lovely about it. He was patiently in. You know, I said, "No, just pull it. I'll down the, you know, the loop when I go home. Just pull it, pull it." I was dead embarrassed. No, no, no. He said, "I'll untangle it." And we were there for about 5 minutes. Oh, when he had the most gorgeous aftershave on, I could still smell it. Oh, such a gentleman. He was such a gentleman. Yeah, he's weird. My attention's weird, Lisa. I'm all right if I'm doing a pattern, but stocking stitch is my nemesis. Yeah, yeah. My mum used to make loopy hats for fun and sell them in the shop. Tony Christie, the Amarillo, yeah, he was doing it at a nightclub. Don't ask me why he was walking through the foyer at the same time as me, but we got bonded together with his cufflink. And when he came on stage, I was sat at the front, and he came on stage and he raised his glass to me. And my mate said, "Oh, look at you getting off with Tony Christie." But he was. I mean, he could have been stroppy about it, but he wasn't. He was absolutely lovely. You know, some stars are a bit up themselves, aren't they? My dad used to always say they should remember who their fans are on the way up, because they'll need their fans when they're on the way down. Yeah. I think the ones who are, you know, totally pleasant or whatever, they're the ones who make it and stay for the next 10 years or something like that. He was a very nice guy, Lisa. Yeah, very nice guy. I mean, obviously, I don't know him personally, but my little one incident of 5 minutes tangled up with his key, you know, his keep saying key ring, his cufflink. He could have been really nasty, and he wasn't. He was absolutely wonderful about it. Yeah. You get some like these one-hit wonders, don't you? And you don't meet them, but you see stories about them being really up themselves, and they won't give people autographs because they think they're too, you know. And I'm like, yeah, in another 5 years' time, you'll be struggling and nobody will want to know you. And all the people you've trod on the way up won't want to know, will they? But somebody who's pleasant, and I tell you, was a very nice guy. If you're old enough, you might remember Frankie Vaughan. I met him actually. I was waiting for my boyfriend, would you believe, outside of a Jewish boys' club, and he was going to open something there. And he was absolutely charming. He was a lovely man. I believe he did a lot for charity as well, yeah. But some of them, oh, they don't want to know, do they? They might up themselves, if you know what I mean. They don't give interviews, do they? They won't give. Frankie Vaughan, yeah, he was a singer. I'm going back a long, long time. Your mum will probably remember him, but a bit of a crooner. His trademark was like, give me the moonlight, give me the girl, and he used to kick one leg up in the air, yeah. Was I hiding behind the green door? You know, yeah, but he was absolutely charming when I met him, yeah. And I tell you, he was really nice as well. Les Dawson, he used to come in the shop because his wife used to knit on a knitting machine, his first wife. And he was lovely as well. And he had a burning man in. Oh, my mum lived near him. Oh, no. Yeah, he did an awful lot for charity, Munchkin, Frankie Vaughan, yeah. He was doing something. He was opening this Jewish boys' club. I was just meeting my boyfriend there at the time outside. Yeah. No, that was Larry Grayson. No, Les Dawson is the one who did Sissy and Ada, you know. He used to dress up as a woman, but not a drag artist woman. We're talking, he used to dress up like a woman without any teeth, you know, over the garden wall stuff, yeah. And his trademark was he used to play the piano really badly, like out of tune, yeah. Hi, Jane. Yeah, Larry Grayson would shut that door. Avery. That was Mr. Humphreys, wasn't it? Avery. Yeah, well, he used to use that scrunched up face when he was doing the ladies impersonation. So he wasn't like doing a lady impersonation like they do in drag, you know. He was doing an old lady, like over the garden wall, yeah. Well, I've got something in my eye now. It's probably this mascara. I put my mascara on and I was late doing it. And you know, when it comes out in big globs, and I'm like, ah, and I hadn't got time to take it all off and start all over again. I don't know why it was such gloopy. Not buying that again. I like it to be finer, you know, and nice. This come out in a big blob. And I was trying my best to get rid of the blob. Mr. Humphreys. No, that was Mrs. Oh, God, what was she called? It wasn't Brace Girdle, no. Oh, la, 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 la. That was Molly Sugden, wasn't it? One with a pussy, yeah. Yeah, when they were talking about women's operations, yeah. Yeah. Have you come about your Bert, her husband? Mrs. Slocum, that was the one. Mrs. Slocum. She had to get home to see to her pussy because she'd been left on its own for ages, hadn't she? And she used to ring the next door neighbour up to throw a sardine for the pussy through the letterbox. Yeah, she was funny. Those kind of programs I found were funny. You know, I mean, I can't laugh at half of these modern things. Yeah, yeah, they were rude, but they were funny rude, weren't they? They weren't no effing and jeffing, if you know what I mean. Benny Hill, I didn't like. No, no, sorry. Oh, he just used to set my teeth on edge. My dad loved him, but I didn't. I didn't like him. I couldn't watch him. When he used to do that, ooh, start chasing the women around. No, no. I've been watching. Yeah, suggestive is what I would say. Yeah, I've been watching a lot of these old comedy things. They're still on if you find them. Yeah, I find them all funny. I'm looking at a lot of these modern comedies, and I'm like, I can't laugh. I just can't laugh. I should. I've only got one on today. I only got one on today. Woo. It's like little wooden rings all fastened together. Oh, by the way, while we're all here, I heard from Trev today. Just a very short line saying he's been poorly, been very ill. And he said he'd come back and let us know when he was feeling better. So I did hear from Trevor. I was getting a bit worried because I'd sent him about 3 or 4 messages, over Christmas and New Year. Not heard a Tweety bird back. Anyway. All I can remember with Monty Python is when he is not the Messiah, he's just a very naughty little boy. Oh dear. Yeah, the old ones are the best ones. I used to like Open All Hours. That was one of my favourites. Not the second one. I know they tried to resurrect it, didn't they, with David Jason, but yeah, hello, hello, yeah. Do you remember the Phantom Raspberry Blower? That was the two Ronnies, wasn't it? And they used to carry it on week after week, didn't they, the Phantom Raspberry Blower? They were much, much funnier. I don't know. They were innocent. They didn't rely on bad language, did they? Yeah, dinner ladies. I mean, anything Carolina Hearn wrote was funny, wasn't it? The royal family and that. They didn't swear, did they? Yeah, it was cheeky with, like you said, double entendre. But it weren't. I mean, comedians today that rely on foul language, to me, they're not funny. I can't find them funny. When you just swear all the time and F and Jeff and, talk about things that, no. Yeah, we used to watch Blackadder, yeah. Baldrick. Actually, I was watching Repair Shop, and this lady was the town crier somewhere, and she had a bell that she'd come to have the bell renovated because it was a bit scruffy looking, and she wanted a baldrick. And I thought, what? Apparently, it's like a leather harness that goes across, and you put the bell in it and fasten it in it, and it's called a baldrick. And I'm like, wonder if that's anything where they got the name from Blackadder. But I'd never heard of that. A baldrick. Yeah, the two Ronnies. The funniest of all of the Morecambe and Wise ones was, remember when they did in the kitchen and the doors were opening and shutting and they were throwing pieces of toast around. That was the funniest sketch ever, that. Lee Evans, didn't he used to sweat though? He used to sweat buckets. His suit was wringing wet through, wasn't it, when he was finished on stage? I've nearly finished my little thing. When I sew it up, you'll see what it's all about. I've left my sewing needle over there, though. I'll have to go and get it in a minute. Yeah, you could have wrung his suit out, couldn't you? Well, it does a bit, doesn't it? Yeah. At least it's not. Can't find Rising Damp. It's on the telly at the moment. Some of it. It's not on Sky because I don't have Sky. Yeah, thumbs up, everybody. We're not doing too bad. We've got 30 and there's 42 people in. So that still means that 10 people haven't put the thumbs up yet. I like Tony Robinson as well when he does these, like archaeological things on the telly. Well, he's not being funny, he's being serious. You got 6 inches of snow. Oh dear. Time Team, that's one, yeah. I used to like watching Time Team. People used to come in the shop and want to knit a sweater, like that guy on Time Team used to wear, the one with all the bright colours like a rainbow. And they used to say, "Do you have a pattern?" I said, "Well, no, you'll have to just get a plain pattern, put your own stripes in." Yeah, that kind of came to an end when he passed away, didn't it? I can't remember his name. I used to like watching the mudlarking. My friends do that as well. If you ever like into it, that sort of thing. Manchester mudlarkers, I think they're called, yeah. I used to like the ones that did it by the Thames. I think one of them was called Johnny something or other. I used to like them. You've got snow there as well, have you, Jane? Ours didn't last long. We're too near the sea. It's salt in the air that makes all this snow disappear. Everybody's getting quite excited because in Blackpool they were measuring the snow and they had 2 inches. I'm like, oh. Yeah, cadenza. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I've not watched that. My mate does, Sarah does the Manchester one. She's got loads of subscribers as well, loads of them in America. I've known Sarah for years and years and years. Yeah. I used to go out for breakfast with her nearly one day a week when I lived in Prestwich. Even when it was COVID, because we'd found a cafe we could sit outside of, yeah. So it was quite good. So we managed to get our breakfast even with COVID, yeah. My friend Hayley in Scotland, she's not Scottish, by the way. She just lives in Scotland. She's been doing some beautiful hats on that, like it's a pseudo Addy machine. I think she bought one that's supposed to be a child's toy. She paid a lot less than I did on my Addy. I can't get my Addy to work properly. It likes number 4 yarn, American yarn. It doesn't like English double knit. It seems to be an American machine, man. Yeah, it won't knit Aaron. Aaron's too thick on it. I'll have another go on it, yeah. I know, they're awful, aren't they, the fire? I did hear something, and I don't know whether it's true, that they've arrested somebody with a flamethrower. And I'm like, really? Yeah, there's quite a few YouTubes on mudlarking, yeah. There's another lady that does it down in London. But my friend does it around the Manchester area. I wouldn't want to go grubbing about in the wet mud. Not my idea of fun, you know. Oh, it's all these celebrities' houses burnt to the ground in Los Angeles, Lisa. Well, they must be made of wood or something to go up like that. I mean, in England they might burn, but they'd be left. The bricks would be left behind. There wouldn't be just a pile of ashes, you know. If we have a house fire here, it tends to be the roof goes, and you know, but the rest of the house still stays there, you know. It could be arson, you know. It's on. Well, the last time we had big fires over here on the moors, it was arson. Some stupid people that think it's funny. Pyromania, that's what it's called, isn't it? I mean, I like watching my log fire as much as anybody else does, looking at things in the flames, you know. And as a kid, you know, you make up pictures, don't you, in the flames, but you don't set fire to property. A bonfire is different, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I'm watching a couple building a house in Canada. And it's all like plywood and stuff. I think the family's come back. We may get a Rosie coming bouncing in a minute. And I'm watching them build, and I'm thinking, that won't withstand the snow and that of a Canadian winter. You know, it's just, I don't know. We're building with bricks over here. Oh, I'm just going to get my needle. Oh, well, I will when I can walk. Oh, I thought I heard the car. I thought it was the kids coming home. Well, the UK, we build it with bricks. Oh, it's ages old. It's gone all fluffy, can you see? A halo, do they call it? Gone all fluffy. Yeah, it is. The kids are back. Hello, Rosie. Yes, the kids come back. I'm not very good at sewing up. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm a pretty rubbish sewer upper. I wish I was neat. There was a lady comes to knit club and then well, she doesn't come anymore now because she's in America at the minute, actually. But she was such a neat stitcher upper. Hello. Hello. What? What's all that about? What's all that about? Yeah. I don't know. She came running in here and started barking and growling. I don't know whether it's because I piled those straws on the end of the.
Probably that plant.
Oh no, she was looking over there. I think it's because I piled the throws.
Alright.
I washed the throws.
You sell them tricks.
I washed the throws and they piled up on the sofa. And that's what she's barking at. She just came in, stopped dead and started barking. I decided I needed a wash, so. Yeah, I've washed the throws, yeah. And they're on the end of the sofa. Hang on a minute now. I've got to sew. Because it's a polo neck and it's going to be bent over. I've got to sew that on the right side, haven't I? And this bit on the wrong side. I always do it wrong. Because you've got, you know, when it folds over a polo, you've got to do it, sew it one side and the other side. It's probably because it smells of washing powder, doesn't it? Or in our case, washing pods. It's just so funny. She just came in and went, it's like, the brakes went on. What the heck's that? Yeah. I'm not very good at sewing up. I really am not. One of the throws I've just was that blanket, the pink one. It's all in granny squares. And I'm looking at it and there's all these bits poking up. Oh, good show. Why, Amazon delivers to all kinds of blinking time of night. Don't matter what they say. They deliver up to 10 o'clock at night, don't they, Amazon? It was just so funny. She doesn't bark an awful lot, doesn't Trixie? It's Rosie that does all the barking. Trixie's usually quite placid, unless something sets her off, yeah. So it was just quite funny to hear her coming in and start to bark, yeah. Yeah. I wish I were a nice sewer-upper. I've tried it every way when you're doing a granny square. I've tried crocheting over them. I've tried sewing them this way, sewing them that way. And I still get a bit that pokes out. I remember reading somewhere where a woman said, how do you stop it happening? And I'm like, well, I wish you'd tell me. Because no matter how careful I am. I mean, the last time I did that shawl, it was better. I crocheted along and then crocheted about and folded it over. Yeah, I work over the ends, Enid, and I still get bits poking out. They're supposed to be. I had reflexology one time with this guy came to the house actually. And it was brilliant. He massaged like the soles of my feet and everything. My friend has a parcel locker on her doorstep and they don't use it. They just still knock on her door. Honestly. I inquired about having a post office box. I think I said the other day. Instead of when people say, can I have your address or something? Not that many people do, but you get the odd person who says, I'd like to send you something or something. But to get a post office box, it's £42 a month. I don't get any presents. I just would have liked an address that kind of, I could have put on me YouTube, that was like anonymous, like Z does and stuff. Perhaps it's not as expensive. All right, little girl. She's still having a bit. She's still barking. Can you hear her? She's still barking. Still don't like that pile. I folded them all up and put them on the end of the sofa because the damp dried, yeah. Yeah, £42 a month to get a Royal Mail post box. I mean, some of the people like who do the videos in Blackpool and that, they use a shop or something, There's one lady that she has her stuff sent to a jeweller's in Cleveland, But I mean, What's wrong with her?
Right, isn't it?
It's definitely those throws.
Blankets.
The blankets she's barking at you. Weirdo. Uh-huh. I hate scissors that don't cut. My hip does that when I'm trying to get to sleep. Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm not in Blackpool, though. It would take me ages to... No, it's not a ghost. It's the blanket. She just doesn't... She's not used to seeing the blankets piled up on the end of the sofa. I just washed them. So I haven't put them back because they're damp dry. They're dry, but they're not bone dry, if you know what I mean. So I've just folded them up and put them on the end of the sofa until they dry properly. Right, let's have a look. Oh, I've got one more. Oh no, I've got more ends to sew in. Thought I'd finished sewing ends in. I love making granny squares, but oh my goodness me. All the ends. As I say, when I made that scrappy shawl, it was my friend Sarah's hairbright idea. She just said crochet like a double edge and bend it over, and it was brilliant. All the ends are tucked inside now; they won't come out. I thought, yay, but you can't do that with a granny square. But it was great for the shawl because the shawl, every row was different because I was using scraps up, And I'll be looking for some old deer now. Well, I might wait till I've got one or two and then, donate them somewhere. Going to need them, aren't they, with storm cancelling people's winter fuel. They'll need a shawl to keep them warm. Right, so I've got one more end. Look at that. I've just sewn that in. Sewn it backwards, forwards, sideways. And already it's poking out. I am a rubbish stitcher-upper. Yeah, I need more than a shawl. I need a blinking blanket. I made a blanket when I used to go to Harmony and Health singing group, and their colour was bright yellow, which I don't like. But I was making a blanket to go on my scooter because they used to sing outside sometimes, and I was freezing. So I made myself a blanket, but I used double knitting done double, and it was much, much cheaper, being a tight wad, much, much cheaper than doing it in chunky. Right, here we go. Now do you understand what I mean? That goes over your neck. Yeah? That goes down the front bit here. Yeah? And then there's a back bit that's a bit shorter for the back. Yeah? So if you want to know what I did, it's super chunky, 9mm needles, knit one, purl one, rib for however inches, I don't know. And then I divided it into two pieces. Did a front bit and a back bit, yeah. Yeah, they call it a dicky, I think, or whatever. But it's handy, for the weather. Or, you can pull it up there if you want to, yeah. So I've done it for her. Not bad. I only got the wool on Thursday, so I know it's chunky, but still. Yeah, and it's got a hat to match. Got a hat. It's looking quite blue actually on here, but it's quite green. It's called peacock. Yeah. I wore mine the other day, but oh my goodness me, it itches. It's merino, and everybody's going, oh no, merino's got little short hairs, doesn't make you itch. Excuse me, I said, before I got home. Yeah, but cross stitch, you can hide it round the back, can't you? By the time you finished it, framed it, nobody's looking at the back, are they? Well, they wouldn't if I was doing it, yeah. Right, I finished it for her. Hers is better than mine. Mine only got that little bit there because I didn't have enough to do, this bit. Yeah. Oh, wool makes me itch. It can be merino, it can be anything, it can be the finest wool in the land, and it still makes me itch. When I was a kid, my mother used to make me woolly socks because I had juvenile arthritis in my legs. Well, I still got it, but it's not juvenile anymore. And the doctor advised I had wool socks. Oh, dear me. I was always in trouble because I kept pushing them down round my ankles. Couldn't abide them. Oh, mohair. I had to, when I made the mohair jackets when they were all the rage, the ones with the birds on the back, and I had to line them all. I used to get lining material and make a jacket out of lining material and sew it inside. I couldn't wear. Mine, I made a beautiful one for a friend of mine, and it was two gorgeous birds on the back with like leaves and everything. And she went out for a drink in a pub, and somebody stole it off the back of her chair. Yeah, cheeky monkeys. Imagine stealing. Oh, can't do with people who steal stuff. It's just not right. Mohair, curly hair, yeah. Oh, I'm thirsty. Oh dear. Oh, what did I just throw around? I just knocked something off, but I don't know what it was. Oh, I know what it was. It was a little charm I got. I suppose I could make it into a stitch marker. It's a little jumper on knitting needles. It's supposed to be silver, but it's gone black. And then the other one is a ball of wool. I think it's a ball of wool. Ball of wool with needles stuck in it. I bought them. Oh God, where was I? Went to some market somewhere. I was with a friend and she was doing a crochet demonstration, and we were inside an indoor market. It was freezing. Indoor market. And there was a stall or a shop. It was one of those places that had been converted into all little shops. And we went there. I got some really old-fashioned toffees from there, sweeties, candies, or whatever you want to call them in America. And then there was a shop selling all these little silver things, and I bought those too. And I found them the other day, actually. I don't know where they'd been. They suddenly turn up. Because this turned up as well. My late sister-in-law bought me this when she was out in Abu Dhabi. It's supposed to say my name in Arabic, but I don't know whether it does or not. It's a bit like those tattoos you get when you finish up looking like the Chinese menu. It's supposed to say Janet, but I don't know. And I don't even know which way round it goes. It's either that way or that way. So I don't know whether I'm wearing it. Well, I haven't worn it for years, actually, because I just found it. The chain's so thin. I'd have it knotted up in no time. Can you see it? So thin. So I don't know whether that's my name, that way, or it's that way. But either way, I don't wear it. But yeah, when she lived out in Abu Dhabi, she got it for me. Actually, I think she charged me for it, to be quite honest, because she was a bit like that, a bit like her brother Tide. Right, well, I've finished with that now. I need to get back to my cardigan. Yes, I'm doing my jazzy cardigan. I've got 2 sleeves. Well, I've got a sleeve and a half to do. Oh dear, come here, bag. Come here, bag. Oh, I'll tell you what I found the other day. You get commercials, Jane. I can't do anything about it. It's allegedly, so I get paid, but I don't get paid, so I don't know why they do commercials. I wouldn't mind if I got the revenue, from a commercial, but I don't. But they just stick them on, and there's nothing that you can do. You can't opt out. Apparently, people can opt out, but they've got to pay, I think, a certain amount to not get any commercials. But who's going to do that? Nobody. So that's why you're getting commercials. It ain't my fault, Jane. Oh, I was going to show you my bag I found. If you remember Erin that lived over in Vermont, look what it says. Urban Gypsy Crochet. She made them in this bag. And she had the logo printed on for me. There's somebody in this, I think they're in America somewhere. I had a giveaway with the other one to this. Somebody won it. I had no idea who they were. That's why I don't do giveaways. Because people just join. They're not your subscribers. They just join for the giveaway and then they beggar off again. It cost me about 90 quid, I think, to do the giveaway and the to send everything to America, because everybody that won was in America. And as I say, I did not recognise one name. None of them were my subscribers, and none of them were people I knew. So I thought, end the story. I mean, there's one lady I watch, and she said she's doing this giveaway, and she's saying, please don't tell people I'm doing a giveaway. She said, it's between us. If you're a subscriber and you're watching my videos, you'll know I'm doing a giveaway. She said, but no, it's not in the title of the YouTube. It's not. And she said, please don't tell people. She said, I don't want people joining who are not my subscribers. Yeah. So if I ever do a giveaway, which I probably won't because I can't afford the postage, but it will definitely be subscribers only. And if I don't recognise the name, they ain't going in the hat. My friend used to do that. She said they don't even go in the hat if I don't know them. And I said, yeah, I don't blame you either. Because there's a whole raft of people who are just so cheeky. They just see giveaway, they just join, subscribe, and then the minute they don't win, or they do win, they unsubscribe and beggar off again. And I'm thinking, that's not the point. That's just greedy. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't go in for these giveaways because I've got enough wool. I don't need any. Well, probably the people who win it don't need it either. But yeah, I've got my sleeve. My sleeve. Look at that. I don't like the way it's working up on the sleeve because it's going in stripy bits, but never mind. Can't be helped. It's the way that it is. Oh, it feels like I'm knitting on thin needles now. And I'm not because of 6mm. It's very bright, isn't it? But I can't remember where I bought it from. I think I might have got it from Lolly's Little Yarn Shack or something. It's very bright. But I'm just using up. I am determined I'm not keep buying things. I had to buy, well, I didn't buy it, she bought it, that super chunky to make her that hat. But I don't count that because I didn't buy it. I didn't add it to my stash, if you know what I mean. The only time I'm allowing myself to buy anything is if I need it specifically for something. I've got so much stash, I need to work my way through it. I mean, who am I fooling? I'm 80 this year, the end of this year. If I sat here and worked my way through it, I'd still be leaving a pile. Admittedly, I look at it sometimes and think, these colours are not inspiring me. But that's how I got such a big stash, because I kept buying things because they're just like, I like the look of them. Didn't need it, didn't want it for anything in particular. I just used to buy it because I used to get it from Ice Yard before it got silly, you know. And me and Sue, oh, by the way, I was talking to Sue the other day. She says hello. I was saying about her, about everybody asking about her. And she said, tell everybody I'm fine, I'm fine. I said, if ever I go to visit you or you come to visit me, we have to do a video. I said, I am being mithered. How is Sue? How is Sue? She said, well, tell them all I'm all right. Yeah. Yeah, I chat to her all the time. It's just that, you know, obviously we can't do. I've never been able to do videos where you do the split screen and all that, because I'm thick, you know. Other people do, don't they? They have. Yeah, my friend, she lives in Scotland now. She didn't used to. She used to live in Darwin. Yeah, it was her lifelong ambition was to retire and go and live in Scotland, but she actually went into Scotland before she retired. So yeah, I'm determined to plough my way through some of this stash. It's getting ridiculous, you know. But my excuse is when I bought the stash is when I was making things to sell. So this is why, you know, if it was a bargain or it was beautiful colour, I'd think, oh, that'll make a nice cardigan for someone. Yeah. But of course, you know, now I don't have my Etsy shop anymore. I'm stuck with all this yarn. I might sell some of it on eBay actually. It's too cold to go in the shed and faff about in there. I have great intentions. I go out there, you know. By the time I've sat there for about a quarter of an hour, I'm freezing, even though there's a little heater in there. And I'm thinking, oh God, no, it's too cold coming in. Yeah, Trev has been poorly, he said. His exact words. A minute, I can read you his exact words. Um, he said, hello, Jan. I've been very unwell. I will talk more when I'm on the mend. Love, Trev. So that's all he said. So I don't know. There's been this virus like hanging around in the UK. I think we all had it, you know, before Christmas. My daughter-in-law had a really, really bad cough, and so did my son. I had something because you know I wasn't on for 3 weeks um, because I just felt absolutely drained. I couldn't tell you what was wrong with me. I just couldn't have done a live if you'd have paid me. I just felt so ick, you know. I couldn't say, oh boy, I've got a cold, or oh, I've got the flu. I just didn't feel like me. And I've still got no energy. I'm still staying in bed far too late. I wake up in the morning and I think, do I have anything to get up for? And if I don't, I'll turn over and go back to sleep, which is not like me at all. I mean, today I think it was midday before I woke up at 8 when the alarm went off. I think actually, Jane, he stays with his sister when it's winter. I don't think he stays on the boat. Yeah. Oh my goodness me, Val. He's got pneumonia, maybe sepsis. Oh dear. Yeah. It's just, there's some kind of bugs going about. I swear there is. I mean, about 18 months ago, 2 years ago, I had a cough that I couldn't get rid of. Yeah, they keep saying there's something going around, don't they? They keep saying it's something to do with COVID, but I'm not convinced. It's just, I don't know. All these bugs we're all getting, something in the air. Oh dear. Did you see my message, Val, about Alice saying she wanted me hat? My hat and neck warmer. I would make her one, but I won't see her for ages. You know, by the time I see her, it'll be summer, hopefully. Yeah, there's something going around, isn't there? I don't know who I was watching. Somebody I was watching on YouTube. Her daughter had gone to a hospital for something or other. And when she got there, all the nurses were wearing, it was in this country, all the nurses were wearing masks again. Well, I don't know, Val. It just, I mean, I think Sue's got enough on her plate to think about organising it, really. I think that's what the problem is, Val. She's got her problems with her husband, don't she, not being well. So I think that's what it is, really. Normally she would be on the ball, wouldn't she? You've had a coffee bean for 3 months. No, I mean, I've not smoked. I've never smoked anything. But when I had that cough, I could not get rid of it. In fact, they sent me for a chest x-ray. It'd be about 2 years ago, 18 months ago. You probably remember me having it, this cough. They sent me for a chest x-ray, but they said my chest was absolutely clear. They did I know it doesn't sound nice, I did a sputum test and all. Absolutely no sign of infection. So I don't know why. I was coughing and coughing. Sounded like a sea lion. I mean, I'll never say I've never smoked. You always try to have a smoke when you're a kid, teenager, don't you? But I didn't like it, so I didn't take it up, if you know what I mean. I just had 2 or 3, yeah. Yeah, well, I've got acid reflux because I've got that stupid blinking hiatus hernia, haven't I? Yeah, I had the COVID jab and the flu jab at the same time. That's what made me ill. That's why I won't have another one. I mean, didn't they jab Alice twice? She seems to have been all right, doesn't she? I mean, the nurse at the health centre, my asthma nurse, she said she didn't believe in having the 2 jabs at once. She said it was too much for your body to cope with. Yeah, when they gave me my flu jab, she said, "Are you here for your COVID?" I went, "No." I said, "If I'm having my COVID, I said, I'll come back another time," and I hadn't bothered. I said, "I'll take my chances." Yeah, I don't know why they were doing them. Probably to save money, weren't they? They were doing them both at the same time. No, I got one in each arm, Sean. They attacked me from both sides. I didn't know I was having 2. I took my cardigan off, and of course I had a sleeveless top underneath. And it's one went in one arm and the other one went in the other arm. I'm like, whoa, I didn't sign up for this. They didn't tell me they were going to. Yeah, I got the flu jab. I've had the flu jab for about the last 15 years, because of my breathing difficulties, We were talking last week about it, the CPAP. But I'm all right with that. It's just the COVID. And I was all right with the first 2 COVID. It was the third one that did me because she did it in, at the same time as the other. Yeah, they do it because they save time, innit? It probably saves money or something. No, I got one in each arm, meaning they attacked me from both sides. But they didn't tell me they were doing it. That's what got me. At least they should tell you that they're going to do it. You know, you're having them both at the same time, yeah. I don't think they should be allowed to just jab you both sides. Well, it all depends on your vulnerability. I mean, when I had mine, somebody said to me, we haven't had a call up to go and all that. I said, well, it's not my fault. I just went because they called me up. I didn't ask. You know, they were like, why are you and not me, you know. I felt like saying you can go instead of me if you feel like it. You know, I'm not worried. Right, I've got to do 60. Got to have 62 stitches. How many have I got? No counting with me. 6, 8, 10, 30, 32, 58. So I've got to do 2 more increases, haven't I? 2 more increases. Well, actually, I'm on an increase, so I've got 1 more to do after this one. Still don't like the way it's striping. Looks like a sunset on a bad day, doesn't it? Never mind. I'm going to have a drink. I think I've got some Coca. Oh yeah, I've got some Coca-Cola left. 0 sugar. Oh, I've had the shingles one. I had that one. I had that ages ago. I've lost count of my flu jabs, but I know how many. Why do they have to fasten the blinking tops to the bottles now? It's so you won't take it off for recycling or something. But it makes it so hard to actually fasten it up again, you know, when you've opened it. I haven't had the pneumonia shot. I was supposed to have it done, but I didn't. But I didn't. Oh God, don't talk about paying. I'm talking about us paying for prescriptions now. I tell you, they just want us all to die and have done with it. So they can spend millions of pounds on their big houses and their heating and giving the civil service people rises of 14,000 a year. Oh, that cocoa's a bit flat. Never mind. It's better for you when it's flat, I believe. Doesn't make you boip. No, our government will have us paying for everything. Oh, they'll probably stop that as well, Sean, when they realise everybody's paying that. So they'll get a loophole, they'll be able to stop it, yeah. I always had prepayment because I had so many prescriptions when I was working. I mean, even when I was working, you know, I couldn't have afforded, what was it, nearly 10 quid a prescription now. I mean, when you have like 12 prescriptions, it's like £120 a month. Who's got that? Well, I used to get free prescription. Well, not free. I used to get my prescriptions like on a, you know, like a prepayment, but they wouldn't do it for the HRT. You have to pay for that. Well, touch wood, I have had my shingles, but I didn't get shingles. Yeah. Well, as soon as I had chicken pox twice when I was a kid, I think I was a bit immune to shingles. Mm. I remember thinking I had shingles once, and it turned out I was allergic to my knicker elastic. I don't know what kind of elastic they put in it, but I was allergic to it. Never had a reaction to elastic before in my life. But I thought, oh my God, it's around my waist, it's shingles. Yeah, I got chicken pox twice when I was a kid. Everybody kept saying, you can't have it twice. I did. I did. Yeah. Well, I wasn't diabetic when I was working, so I didn't have that problem. It's only been gifted to me since I, you thought your knicker elastic had stuck. I tell you, when I was a teenager, we went on holiday, and my friend's mother had not packed her knickers. So she had to buy some while we were on holiday, and we were killing ourselves laughing because the label inside was called Lucy Elastic. I thought, what a name for a manufacturer. Yeah, la la la. Oh dear. I watch a lady in Malaysia. She does this upcycling. She goes thrifting or whatever you want to call it, craft. Honestly, yeah, I had my shingles jab about 4 years ago, I think, but they do last for life. Yeah. Now I watch the Crafty Nana. She gets these beautiful things in Malaysia. She pays about £2 for things, sometimes 50p. And they're beautiful. And I'm like, I never find anything. Not that I'm looking at the moment, but I never find anything in the charity shops here. My friend said to me, oh, I've got all this wool at a charity shop. I went, how? Never really an hour, yeah. Crafty Nana, yeah, she's doing well, yeah. I love watching her clothes. She's making a channel, or she's got a channel now on Facebook. And if you're an upcycler or anything like that, or a thrifter, you can put your pictures on her Facebook page. I'll join it, and then if I ever find anything in the charity shops in the summer. I was watching another lady, and she said it's the best time to go to to the charity shops is now because people are getting rid of all the Christmas presents they don't want. Yeah, that's B. B. I don't know what. Can't think of what her channel's called. She hasn't done anything for a while because she just moved house. Yeah, it's B. Yeah, BEA. Maybe she'll do some more because she hasn't been obviously not been buying charity clothes because she's just moved house. So she's been in the throes of sorting all that out. Yeah, she painted me a little picture. I sent her a load of jewellery down. I bought a pile of jewellery. When it all arrived, it was very Asian. Nothing against Asian, but it just wasn't me. It was all too blingy and glitzy. And she'd seen it and said, oh, I love it, And it's had all these dangling long earrings and everything. I mean, the crafty Nana would have loved it. So I just thought, right, you're never going to wear it. Yeah. So I sent it all down to B. So she said, how much do I owe you? I said, you don't owe me anything. I'm just. So she sent me a little picture that she'd painted. Yeah, she upcycles things and she paints on shoes and paints on hats and things. I wish I was creative, but I'm not. I wish I could paint, but I'm useless. I just haven't got the. You've either got it or you haven't got it. I just haven't got it. Yeah. Yeah, hats. She paints hats and does all sorts of things. She hasn't made a video for a while, actually, because of her moving. She's just moved. I don't even know where she's gone to. She used to live in Mapley, but she's gone. I don't think she's gone to Whitby, Scarborough, something like that. She's gone up that way anyway. Oh, I can't paint. I've still got my dolly's house to paint, haven't I? I'll do that in the summer. I've got the paint for it. But then I'll need inspiration, with for wallpapering it and doing the floors and everything. Everybody that says, oh, God, we'd love to help you. Nobody lives near me, yeah? And I keep saying, why don't you all live near me? And you could come and help me to paint it. It's like when I'm sorting out the shed, People say, oh, God, I'd love to do it. I'd love to come and help you. And I'm like, well, why do you have to live like 300 miles away or across the Atlantic, Nobody that lives like within striking distance says he wants to come and help me. I used to have Kelly, you see, and I used to have Sue that used to help me. Yeah, it's still a good drive away, isn't it, Lisa? Yeah. It's over by the coast, but it's still, my niece used to travel backwards and forwards from Manchester. It's still like about a 40, 50-minute journey on a good day. But if you get the traffic, you get stuck in it. Yeah. I was talking with my friend in Scotland, Hayley, the other day, actually. I was chatting away to her on the, on the internet. And we were saying, like, we'd love to. Hello, Milson. We would love to. You've got your own shed to sort out, yeah. We were saying we'd love to have one of these, retreat things. But the ones that they advertise are so dear. To go on a knitting or a crocheting retreat. But you're talking hundreds of pounds, the people who run them. And I'm not bothered about it being a workshop or anything. It would be nice, wouldn't it, to all have a meet up and just sit and have a damn good natter, and have a knit and a crochet and stuff like that. But nobody lives near me. And I don't have any transport, so I can't go travelling, to meet up with anybody. But these workshops, I looked at one, it was in Scotland. I think it was about £700 or something for the weekend. It was probably a beautiful hotel and everything. And I'm thinking, no, I could have gone abroad for a fortnight for that, I always said if I won the lottery, I'd buy a house, with a big conservatory or a big garage or something that you could, or a barn, that you could turn into a crafting space, yeah. You've got a metal tin. I've got a big wooden shed, but it's still not like a craft room. It's only got a little window, so it's quite dark in there. It's not very conducive to wanting to sit in it. I just use it as a stash, a stash place. It's not like, some people have these gorgeous, like what she calls secret yarnery. These people who have these wonderful, like Kallax units, with all the yarn and it's all looking pretty and everything. Oh, they're really expensive, Gillian. Ali, that, what she called Little Drops of Wonderful. She went on a lay family retreat, didn't she? But, oh, God, I bet she paid a fortune. And then you've got to get there, haven't you? Oh, that sounds nice. painted it black with daisies on it, yeah. I admire people who can do things like that. You know, get an old piece of furniture and paint it up with, you know, I belong to a couple of boho sites on Facebook. And oh, some of the things that they put on there, and you're like, oh, that is gorgeous. You know, they get an old chair, don't they? If I got an old chair, it'd look like an old chair when I've done it, you know. You've got to be artistic, haven't you? You've got to have the right. I mean, I keep putting off painting this Dolly's house, and I mean, how difficult can it be? Except I'll probably have to take the windows off first to paint the windows, but I'm sure I'll get around it by putting masking tape on it. I don't fancy taking the windows off and putting them back again and gluing them. It's got 9 windows, I think, yeah. Oh my goodness me, 30 quid. People have asked me, you know, many a time, do I do crochet lessons? But I just don't have the patience. I tried it one time, and I think I told you I got that lovely lady with Alzheimer's. Oh, and every week she'd forgotten what I'd taught her the week before, you know, and she just held up all the classes. And everybody else was getting annoyed because they weren't learning anything, they weren't progressing, because this lady just kept monopolising me and saying, no, 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 just show me again, just show me again. And the thing was, I said to her, practice when you get home. And she said, well, when I get home, I forgot. I thought, oh, you know, it just put me off teaching. You know, you can't say, I'm willing to teach crochet, but nobody with Alzheimer's, please. I don't have patience. I think you have to have patience. Plus the fact, you see, I crochet UK. So everybody else that's learning seems to be crocheting American, you know, and I don't understand it. I can if I try, but I'd automatically revert back to UK. I mean, when I'm starting a pattern, I have to, you know, sort of work out, is it US or is it UK? I mean, there was a lady, I have this Simply Crochet magazine, I think it is, and a lady in America said, oh, I can't do with that magazine. She said, it's all in English and I can't work it out. I thought, well, we have to work it out, you know, because every pattern that we buy nowadays is all in American, so we've got to work it out. So I don't see why she couldn't work it out. The first time I realised it was different was I used to get, when I was a teenager, my mum used to get me McCall's Knitting and Crochet magazine. It came out 4 times a year, I think. And it had the most beautiful knitting and crocheting patterns in it. I would only be a teenager. And I didn't realise there was a difference, you know, between, you know, UK double crochet English. And I'd be making these patterns and thinking, that doesn't look anything like what I'm supposed to. I was all right with the knitting, because the knitting was the same. But like, it was hard because they would put like a G crochet hook, and we're talking way before the internet, you know, where you could actually look things up. And you're like, what's a G? You know? So not only did I not know what the wool was, the stitch was, or the crochet hook. In fact, I've still got them. They're all packed away in the shed. But now I could probably do them now, because now I understand what fingering is and what a G hook is, yeah. I mean, now we just think nothing of it. You just Google everything, don't you? You think, what's that? And you just Google it. I mean, the other day I came across, well, it was today, I came across a thing, and it was like tarot, and it was said, what did it say? Not reversals. Oh, I can't think what it said. It was like a deep dive, and I'm like, well, what's the difference? So even though I wasn't really watching the video, I had to go look up what she meant, you know, with this, oh God, what was it called? I still don't understand what it was. Not that I would know how to do a tarot anyway. But it just fascinated when she said this word. If I hear a word and I don't know what it means, I have to go and look it up. Because I'm just curious like that. Even though I'm not really interested in what she's talking about. Somebody says something, I think, what's that mean? So I have to go and Google it and find out what it meant, yeah. Oh, Sophie, I believe people are starting doing these temperature blankets again. It'd be great over here, wouldn't it? It'd be all one colour. Freezing. Yeah, I was like that when I was a kid. We used to have a massive, massive dictionary. It was about that thick. And I used to look up words. I used to look at a page a day or something to see what words there were that I didn't understand, yeah. Yeah, it would be like that here, wouldn't it? Blue, 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 freezing, freezing, freezing. There wouldn't be any yellow for the sun, would there? Be a very boring blanket over here. There'd be no heat waves. It'd be like this, wouldn't it? Well, it wouldn't actually, because there wouldn't be any orange and yellow, would there? If you were doing orange and yellow for sunshine, you wouldn't get one over here. I've just done my last increase now. Now I need to work out. I can't go by the inches on the pattern because on the pattern it had a double cuff for some unknown reason, and I've only done a single cuff. I don't like doing blankets full stop. Trundling across a row with about I don't know how many stitches. And then you've got it on your knee, haven't you? And it's weighing a ton. Oh, Swifty clips, I'm fine. Well, I'm saying I'm fine. I'm not really. Oh, God, here we go. Chris. Whistle. I think it's a whistle job. No, I'm not doing any shout outs and I'm not doing anything. You're not knitters and you're not crocheters, so you're on the wrong channel, people. So don't start. Don't start. Not in the mood. We've not had any trolls for ages, have we? Now we get them all coming in. I was just thinking the other day I've been doing well. I've been doing too well, obviously. Obviously doing too well. You're a good partner, aren't you, Chris, with Shan? Shan's got a neck ache and a spondylitis. I've got backache and you've got an headache. God, between the three of us, there's not a good one between us, is there? If you put us all three together, do you think we'd get a human? Oh, dear. Yeah, I get headaches from my neck as well. It's old age in my case. Not a lot I can do about it. Unless I just drug myself up, which I don't feel like doing. That Nurofen worked all right on my back. I shouldn't take it, though, because, I've got a hiatus hernia and I shouldn't take anything like that. Yeah, we're a right lot, aren't we? The three of us, yeah. It's being so miserable that keeps us going, isn't it? Yeah, that naproxen, yeah, I'm not allowed to have it because of my stomach issues, but it's the only thing that works. So you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't, do you? Oh, you're joining us, are you, Lisa? Right? Anybody else want to join in? We'll have a little pity party all on our own. Oh dear, we're a load of old crocs, aren't we? Well, you're young crocs, I'm blooming old croc. I wonder how long my sleeves got to be. The Queen's called, Ashley. She wants to go for a potty. Oh, it's looking long enough. I've only got short arms. I don't know how long it is. I think the pattern tells me in rows or something. And I can't, if I don't get gauge. Oh, it does tell me. 38 centimetres from the first row of the stocking stitch. That. Well, that would be all right if I had a tape measure. Have I got a tape measure? Oh. I don't understand centimetres. I've got 33 centimetres. I don't know how long I need. Oh, I do need 38 centimetres according to this. According to my arm. But you never know whether they fit tight under your arm or not, do you? I wish something of mine lasted 12 hours. I mean, they gave me morphine once, but all it did was make me itch. You know, I thought, what good's that? It was making me itch. They gave me morphine patches one time and I couldn't. They just didn't do anything except make me itch. I don't know what it's supposed to do apart from make you itch. My friend's on them and she's doing all right, but she might be on stronger ones than what they gave me. They didn't do anything for the pain whatsoever. But, like I say, it made me itch. It was supposed to last me all week. I said to him, I don't want them anymore. He says, why not? I says, because I don't do anything. And everybody's going, you had morphine and it didn't do anything. I went, no, I didn't do anything. Didn't even feel remotely pain-free. And they told me, under no circumstances could I take anything else besides these patches. I said, oh no, I'm not having them. Take them off. Don't want them. It's not that they didn't last long enough. I didn't feel anything. It was like just sticking a elastoplast on my arm. I didn't feel anything coursing through my veins. No, I'd love it if the pain went away, but it just didn't, Charlie. It just didn't do anything for the pain. They put me on a morphine when I had my back spinal operation. They put a morphine drip in my back. And I kept saying, I'm in so much pain. I said, you can't have any painkillers. I said, well, just take the morphine out of my back then. I said, then I can have, swallow some painkillers. I said, I'm sure paracetamol works better than that. Yeah, it was supposed to be going straight directly into my spine, this blinking morphine. It didn't work at all. I was in absolute agony. And I'm not a wimp. And I was nearly screaming with the pain. Nothing makes me go floaty. Unless I've had too many rums. I might be a bit buzzy when I've had too many rums, but that's been a long, long time since I had too many rums. It doesn't interest me anymore now. You go through the phase when you're younger, don't you, where you like to have a drink and you like to go out and like to get a bit happy, merry and a bit silly. But I've got past that now. I've gotten past it. I wouldn't mind being a bit hippy trippy. I can remember when I was young and I used to go out and I used to get eyes a kite on other people's wacky backy. Everybody used to be smoking it, so you didn't need to smoke it. You just had to go in the room with them. And it was the old days where the clubs didn't have good ventilation, you know. So you were walking into a fog of it. A fog of weed. Mind you, you've only got to go on our seafront here, and honest to goodness me, I think every person that walks past me must be smoking it. Because you're going, you know, down the seafront going. Me and my mate are like that, going down the seafront on our scooters, going. We're like the Bisto kids. Especially if they flash past you on an electric scooter. Leaving this fog behind them. Oh dear, it's funny. I need to whiten my teeth. They look horrible, don't they? I used to have a bloke next to me. And when, you know, you have your patio door open and you're like, ooh, blimey. Anyway, my son said eventually to him, he said, look, if you're going to smoke it, mate, do you mind moving round the corner where, you know, it's all blasted in our house? He said, I'm not saying don't smoke it. I said, I'm just saying either go to the bottom of the garden or go around the corner. He was kind of like standing right next to my patio doors. So I think I was getting more of it than he was. I mean, I'll live and let live, me. People want to smoke it, I don't care, you know. But I don't want it as well, if you know what I'm saying. But I never knock anybody if that's what they want to do, yeah. I don't agree with the harder stuff, I must admit, because they just get a bit silly there, don't they? But normally the people like who smoke just smoke weed, they are normally just very passive, happy-go-lucky people, aren't they? It's when they go on anything harder they get stupid. They get aggressive and start punching everybody, yeah. No, I'm not keen on it, especially the skunk. That really smells so strong, yeah. Tra-la-la, la-la-la-la. Yeah, I've got a lady that goes to knit club and the people above her, she swears blind they must be growing it because the stench is really dreadful. She's reported it to the housing association, but they haven't done anything. Because it says quite categorically, like on the lease, that you're not supposed to use drugs in the flats, but she can't open a bathroom window or anything because it's all coming through, you know. Because when people go in her flat, like, you know, they'll, because it's not me, it's people above me. She said, I swear they think it's me. Yeah, it must be awful when you know, your whole flat smells of it, you know, and it's not you that's smoking it. This is my last work in progress. My last one. It's not legal over here, no. I'm not so much allergic. I'm allergic to perfume. Oh, God. My friend had some Ghost, was it called? It was awful. I said to her, would he go away? She says, what? I said, what he got on? I think she said it was called Ghost. I said, it's dreadful. I said, it's really giving me a banging headache. I sat next to a woman on a plane. She was drenched in poison. Oh. An altered heartbeat. No, it's perfume that gives me headaches more than anything. And air fresheners, you know, those ones that you plug in the wall. It affects me like asthma type thing. I'm not asthmatic really. I've got allergenic asthma. In other words, it only kicks up if something, yeah. Yeah, you get one that's popular, don't you, Chris? And everybody wears it. It used to be poisoned, didn't it, and something else. But this one's called Ghost, apparently. But as long as it's not patchouli. Oh, that is dreadful. Do you remember patchouli? Everybody used to be burning it, didn't they? No, I can't deal with them. You know, the ones you plug in the wall that every now and again, that sets me off, yeah. Allergenic asthma, yeah. Patchouli, oh, gives me a banging head, patchouli. All the hippies used to drench themselves in it back in the day, back in the 60s. Every craft shop and everything you went into, you know, these like gifty type shops, they were always burning patchouli. And you know, you walk past a hippie. I used to go down to St Ives a lot, and it was very hippie down there, very artsy. I would have loved to have lived down there when I was younger. There's a place in Scotland, I believe, that, you know, does all crafty. Can't think what it's called. And once a year, they open up the houses and let people go in and look at all their craft work. You can buy it, of course, if you wanted to. I'd love to live in like a very crafty type community, you know, where people around me were painters or, you know, potters and stuff like that. It must be nice to be in an atmosphere of people who designed and created, you know. I mean, I tried pottery when I was at school. Oh my God, was that a disaster? Have you ever tried it? Trying to get it on the wheel. That is a skill. Yeah, when I was younger, I used to think I would love to have lived in a commune. I mean, I'm not fit now because I couldn't do the gardening and all that stuff. But when I was about 40, when my marriage was over, I used to think I'd love to have lived in a commune and be all crafty. You know, you get people who woodworkers, people who do yurts, people who make jewellery. You know, I would have loved to have been in something like that. Oh, I tried pottery. We did it at school. I couldn't keep it straight. And, you know, them wheel things was going everywhere. Yeah, I would love to live somewhere like that. You know, somewhere that's very arty. You know, somewhere like Ebden Bridge or somewhere where people are all artists, leather workers, and, you know, sew people who sew and that. You know, if you lived in a little community kind of thing that everybody did something crafty, it'd be lovely that. Probably not make any money, but it just would be lovely. My friend lived in a commune in Devon for a while. She was there for quite a number of years, but then I think something happened and she fell out with somebody that was there, and it got really awkward, and so she finished up having to leave. They used to take it in turns, who cooked and who gardened, and they had a market stall where they sold all the produce off, like the bees, the honey from the bees, and the vegetables that they grew. Yeah, I need a ghost behind me. If it was Patrick Swayze, I wouldn't mind. Was it Patrick Swayze that did that in Ghost? Yeah. Can't remember. I'm very bad at names. We did lino cutting once at school. That was quite nice, yeah. Evening classes were great. They've stopped them all now. I remember thinking when I retired at 60, I'm going to go to night school, learn flower arranging, dressmaking, stuff like that. When I went to inquire, they said, oh, the council's run out of money. They've stopped all the classes. Yeah, trust my luck. Just when I wanted to do them, and there's no such thing. But I mean, now I wouldn't like to do that. I wouldn't go out at night now, but they used to do daytime ones as well for the OAPs, yeah. You had to pay a bit, but it wasn't like excessive, But now the courses, I mean, it's all like craftsy online and stuff now, where you have to pay a small fortune to learn online. I can't learn online. I'd like to go to proper classes where they show you how to do things, but there's nothing round here. I don't think there's anything round anywhere now. It's not just out round here. I don't think any councils or anything do night school classes anymore. It's like you say, you can pay to do these crochet classes or knit classes, but they cost a small fortune. And I'm a bit, not being big-headed, but I'm a bit past learn to knit, learn to crochet, I mean, even if you go to these yarny festivals and they have these classes, one of the ladies that went to, our knit club, she went to one of these classes. And I mean, she did learn how to do some like a Fair Isle beret thing, in knitting. She learned how to do what they call it colour work in America. We call it Fair Isle over here. But the class was about 50 quid, and it was only a couple of hours long, this class. Well, I've never even heard of U3A. Don't think we have it round here. I know when I was in Presswich, there used to be it wasn't actually a dating group, it was a group where, oh, the light's gone whizzing. It was a group where they went out to the theatre and things like that. But with me not being mobile and not having transport, it was a bit awkward, really. I couldn't have joined it, I would have had to go down to Manchester and that. Oh, Janet, stop it. You're being silly now. I thought, oh, I've done too much, and I realised I'm measuring it from the bottom of the rib. That will do. That's enough. I love stained glass. When I see people who've done stained glass, they do these mandalas and that. It probably wouldn't be anywhere around here, Liza. I'll get your name right one of these days. It's a good job you're not fussed if I get it wrong, isn't it? Because I get it wrong all the time. No, I love those. The thing. I watch a lady called Bealtaine Cottage. Trev does resin. It's a bit similar to stained glass, but he does resin. He was going to send me some buttons, but they've never arrived, yeah. Yeah, they advertise that, is it Craftsy and whatever, and Lisa. I'll forget Lisa. Oh, I'll have to move to Gateshead now, won't I? I don't think they do anything. Yeah, Colette Bialtain. She's got a beautiful, like a stained glass circle thing in her window. I love it. She's a bit too into her trees, though, for me, Colette. You know, I can't quite get how she finds all these these trees. So interesting. You know, it looks like a load of wilderness to me. I'd be cutting a lot of it back me and making it look a bit more structured. She likes it all wild and woolly, doesn't she? She bought this cottage in the middle of nowhere in Ireland and been doing it up, but she's got absolutely acres of land with these trees. And she's potty about trees, and she's going, I'm planting these and all. It looks like a jungle to me. Oh, Kate, she's got a beautiful curtains with Kate's. Oh, Shad, it's like, how can I put it? It's a bit ramshackle, Shad. She has like these barn things that are all falling down. And she's like, I can see the beauty in everything. You need to watch her, Bialtain Cottage. She's in Ireland somewhere. Yeah, no, I love Kate from the last homely house. She's got these gorgeous, just ordinary patchwork. They're not fancy dancy patchwork curtains at a window, and I'm like, I'd love some of them. Yeah, you need to look her up, Shan. Colette. She writes books as well about her life, and yeah. I wish I could walk. Yeah, I would love to watch. You watch her all the time, do you? Yeah. I mean, I watch her. I think she's great, but I couldn't live with all them trees. She's got a nice studio, but she doesn't show you much of that. I don't know what she does in her studio. I know she writes books. But have you seen the floor? It's all done like patchwork with all like broken tiles. The floor of her kitchen and everywhere. But she did it all herself, didn't she? Is she a good photographer? Yeah. I know she's written some books, yeah. I love a little dog as well. A little dog's so cute. Patsy. There's another lady who lives, in America somewhere. It's called the Last Boho Cottage or something. She's got a little chihuahua called Charlie. You'd like her as well, Shad. She lives in the middle of no place in a little tiny house. And she's a photographer as well. What's it called? The Little Boho House or something? Or the Tiny Boho House? But she's a beautiful photographer, that lady. But she lives in somewhere in America. I said she got this little dog car. I mean, wherever she lives on, there's well water. She's not on the mains at all. I watch a lot of sort of weirdy type programs. And I tell you who I absolutely love because she's so weird. She's called Mean Queen Scrimper. I don't know whether you've ever seen her or not. She's really hilarious. And if she's walking along with the camera, she'll say, "Can you hear me? Can you see me, mother?" Yeah. But she thrifts everything and buys everything, and yeah. I don't always watch, like you say, knitting and crocheting. I just wander off and watch other kinds of people. But the quilts that Kate from makes, you know, the last homely whatever it is, cottage. Oh, I just couldn't do them. I couldn't do them honestly. Hi Val. Well, not later on if you're going to bed, Val. You mean tomorrow? Oh dear. I'm just trying to think what she's called, that lady. I'm watching another bloke who's living in a little shed called Elijah Ray. He's living in a 5 foot by 12 foot shed. Now that is just getting a bit too much. That. I think it's called the last boho cottage or something. Little boho cottage. You should watch that one, Shad. You'd like her. She lives in the middle of no place. Yeah. I watched that Elijah Ray's lives in, like I say, in a shed. Oh, mean Queen Scooper Scrimper. She's great, isn't she? She's absolutely great. But Super Scrimper, she, all through Lucy's lens, I love her as well. I love watching her. She finds all these old places, like, you know, the museums and that, and then she goes back into things, you know, where they used to make needles and, you know, things like that. I love watching her as well. I love other things besides just watching knitting. I don't always just want to watch just knitting, you know. I like to watch other things as well. Cast on 34 stitches. I used to like alternative aging, but she's gone into all clothes and stuff like that. So it gets, you know, when they've got too much money and they spend on clothes and that, and they'll say, "Oh, I got this second hand, but they've paid £100 for it," and I'm like, she's not really in my kind of league, is she? You know what I mean? You know, my idea of second hand dress is one that costs about a fiver. You know, I don't care if it's. I don't want one with a label on that's going to cost me £100. Oh, but it's a bargain. It should have been 350. Right? Yeah, fine. Still wouldn't want it, dear. Still wouldn't pay that. There was another lady I used to watch. She used to do crafting, not crafting, charity shopping. But she's another one. She just goes for all the labels, and she'll pay like £50 for a sweatshirt in a charity shop. And I'm like, whoa, no. Mm. Yeah, used clothes that cost £100. Yeah, I used to watch her, but I've gone off her now because she's too expensive. She finds these outlets like in London that, you know, designer outlets with Vivian Westwood and stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, ain't my kind of style. Sorry, girls. her and her husband have both got good jobs and they haven't got any kids, you know, so I suppose it makes a difference, doesn't it? I'm more into Mean Queen Super Scrimper when she's paid like £2 for a sweater. Do you ever watch that little vintage dollhouse? She lives with her mum and she's done all her house up like, well, it's pseudo 1940s. It's not absolutely authentic. Crochet Man knickers? I don't know. Who's that? I don't know who that is. I've not seen anybody. Yeah, it's called a little, what's it called? A little vintage dollhouse or something. She's got a really old-fashioned cooker. Her kitchen's like something out of the 1940s. She lives with her man here. Mr. Carrington. No, I don't watch that. There's another couple of women that I started watching. I've stopped because they only buy to resell. Hi, Lydia. Real vintage dollhouse, yeah. I like watching her. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, I think I need. Oh no, 34. Got too many. I used to watch a lovely guy that was in Shetland or in Scotland somewhere, but he hasn't. He was called John, I think. He hasn't done anything for a long time. 14, 16, 18. The ones I watch mostly are Alex. Oh my God. Guy wearing crochet ground square knickers? No, I don't think even not even Nathan would wear them. No, I watch the usual ones, you know, like Alex that's doing the cross stitching and that. You'd like her. No, she's not on Enid. She's gone off, hasn't she? What else do I watch? The Crafty Clegs. Oh, I watch Alex. Yeah. No, I don't like people who go around charity shops just to buy things to sell on eBay. I don't like them. That's not the point. I'd rather people who buy things to wear. I mean, these two women that I was watching, you know, they were picking things up and all they were picking them up for was, and they were looking to see how much they could sell them for on eBay before they would like buy them. And I'm like, oh, no, I don't like that. I know it's a business for some people, but I still don't like it really. Lydia is always busier. She's a busy, busy bee, is our Lydia. But that Elijah Ray shad, he sleeps in a little hut, little shed, and his bed is actually a massage table that he puts up and down and sleeps on it. And I'm like, He was a big bloke. Well, he was a woman, he's now a man. But he's still a big bloke. I thought if he turns over in the night, he'll come crashing off that thing. It's a pink, like a massage table with legs on it. I'm like, he's going to break his neck falling off that one of these days. I think even you would find it too small. Too small, Shad. No, this one's 7 by. It's called Elijah Ray or something. Can't think of it. I think it's Elijah Ray. Oh, yeah, Elijah Ray, he's called. And he lives in that little shed. Oh, it's gone. Lives in a little shed.
Over 7 million books from
Oh,
just
go away.
$2.99.
It's tiny, tiny little shed. How the hell he lives in that? It is. That's what he's sleeping on, Munchkin. A pink one with the hole where you put your head. When his shed's that small, he puts it down every day and folds it up. Should see where he's living. He lives in there with his cat. I couldn't live in that. But can you imagine it? He's not small. Yeah, the real vintage doll's house, yeah. I like watching that. There's a lot of things. I don't, like I say, I don't always watch crafting ones. I ramble off onto different things, you know. I go down rabbit holes and I start off watching one thing and then I go down a rabbit hole and start watching something else. I don't know if anybody else does that. Yeah, the Mean Queen Super Scrimper. She is so funny, Chris. She is really. When she's like that with her camera, then she'll say, "Can you see me, mother? Can you see me, mother?" But she goes into museums and things like that and looks into things like that. Yeah, I think that sometimes with you. Yeah, the little Bow Cottage, she's a fantastic photographer. And she's got this little chihuahua called Charlie. Yeah, I like the ones who go travelling, and I also like the ones on the narrowboats as well. We did that last week, didn't we? You know, that girl who looks at nature and everything. You know, and she draws the birds and everything, yeah. You back, Enid? Nathan's very quiet tonight. He came on and then he vanished. Yeah, I like watching some people. I get a bit bored with the ones who just make blankets and stuff like that. And I get a bit bored with the ones who just do yarn hauls all the time. The mindful narrator, I love her. Man, she nearly got blooming, what's it called? Not drowned, but she's on Facebook, Kaz, because she put on that it were 9 years. I think it was yesterday since she lost her husband. So she's still around. She just doesn't come on here. She was on a couple of weeks ago when she wasn't working. Oh, you're not on Facebook. You miss such a lot, you see, if you're not on Facebook. Yorkie. Yeah, the narrowboat. She's a bit salty, but I like her. Yeah, the mindful narrowboat. She nearly got the river flooded and went into the canal. This is the first chocolate I've had all week, actually. I've been being good again. I love YouTube, though. I watch it more than I watch the telly. Well, I won't say hello to Greg. Oh, here we go. Woo, whistle, whistle. What is there about me tonight? Why am I getting all the... Why am I getting all the wellies? Give a little whistle, woo woo. Give a little whistle, woo woo. And always let your conscience be your guide. What's that from? I've got the feeling it's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, is it? No, it wasn't Tommy Steele, no. Was it Seven? It's a Disney thing, I think. I'm sure it's this Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, I think. Oh, Pinocchio, was it? I knew it was one of them. I'm on my last sleeve. Man, I've got bands to do and neck bands to do, yeah. I've got itchy nose now. 2-minute cricket. It's nice to know you've got the adult taste in films, Lisa. Cartoons are better anyway. I don't like modern films. I don't like all this violence and God knows what. Oh, God, no, I can't be doing with it. I don't watch the TV so much. I do watch the TV, don't get me wrong, there's one there. But I usually watch YouTube or something like that. Yeah, I have to have a license, even though I very rarely watch it. I mean, it's a lot of money for a pensioner, and you know, we don't get it free anymore. Not even when we get to any age, we don't get it free. The only people who get free TV licenses are the blind, and I'm thinking, and I know they can listen to the TV, but they can't exactly watch it, can they? Oh yeah, they jump on us like a ton of bricks if we don't have a TV license over here. I mean, loads of people, you know, don't actually watch the actual TV. But if you've got a TV in the house, you've still got to have a license. It's like some people say, oh, well, I watch, BBC catch up, ITV catch up on the computer. So, yeah, but you still got to have a license to watch it. It asks you, you know, do you have a TV license when you go on BBC catch up? Yeah, the license is the same amount for everyone. It doesn't matter what, you know, expenses you're on or anything. You know, how low your income is, you've still got to pay. I mean, loads of people don't, but I'd be the one who got caught, you know. I mean, don't get me started. Who? No, you just have one to cover the house. Except, I think, if you're in shared accommodation, I think you've all got to have one. I mean, shared accommodation as in flats within the same house, you know, within the same building. You know, one license doesn't cover a block of flats. But there's only one license for this house, upstairs, downstairs, in my lady's chamber. But it's still expensive. But it used to be free if you got to 70 something or something. 75, I think it used to be, now they stopped it. I don't know whether it's free if you get to 80, I'll have to inquire. But when I'm 80, I get an extra 25 pence a week. I mean, what is that? 25 pence a week? Doesn't even buy you a coffee, does it? I mean, it's an insult, isn't it, that? They might as well not give you anything. It's like the £10 Christmas bonus. What does that buy anybody these days? If you're an old age pensioner, you get £10 Christmas bonus. Whoopee! It's been the same since about 1973. It's never gone up. I mean, at one time it would have bought you Christmas dinner now, but now it won't buy you nothing. Tell you, they make me laugh. Don't get me started. Don't want to do politics and get depressed tonight. Yeah, I'll be going off very soon. It's past the witching hour. Munchkin, thank you for your company. Yeah, I'll be going off shortly. It's 2 minutes past the witching hour. Not usually, no. No, Lisa, no. Sometimes, but not always. I used to do it when I was head of the household and I had a family living with me, if you're with me. But not now. Yeah, I was thinking of something else to do with my bits and bobs. I was thinking of hot water bottle causes. Not for myself, but because I was going to do some more of the bitty shawls. I'm sure I can find some old dears I said to the ladies at church and she said, oh yeah, I could think so. I said, well, I'll make a few before I'm not just taking the 2 down I've made already. Hey, Molly. You've just come on as I'm going, dear. Yeah, I'm sure I'll find some nursing home or something that would want a shawl. But I'm not just taking 2. I thought I'll see if I can make more bits and pieces or, like I say, hot water bottle covers or something little. Just to use all my bits and pieces up. I don't mean the big amounts of yarn because you can always think of something to do with them, can't you? But I'm talking about the balls, 100-gram balls that are now only 50-gram balls, yeah. Nighty-night, Tumbly. Yeah, I'm going to be going. I shouldn't be knitting this rib, but I've started ribbing it and now my hand's hurting. I don't know why my hand hurts when I knit and it doesn't hurt when I crochet. But I'm not crocheting anything at the minute. I started crocheting some little crosses, like as bookmarks, because the knit club I go to, it's a church one, and they're all quite, religious. I'm not particularly religious, but I just thought they'd be nice to make these little crosses, then you thread ribbon through. I thought they might be nice little gifts, but my hand wouldn't hold the fine crochet hook. I couldn't. Well, it wouldn't be the same if you made it in thicker yarn, because it'd be too clunky to use as a bookmark, wouldn't it? I'll have to have another think. I might be able to do 4-ply or fingering weight. Yeah, the crochet cross. Yeah, you thread ribbon down it and ribbon across. I thought it might appeal to my little religious ladies that go to the knit club. Yeah, I started my last sleeve in my last work in progress. Oh, my teeth are awful. It's a good job that woman's not on telling me my teeth are dirty, isn't it? Oh. Farewell, Shard. We've given you some nice people to go and look at. The bloke who lives in a little shed. Right, I'm going to go to Betty Bows now. God, it's worse than a blinking nightmare. I don't know about a sunset. Look at that there. That weird bit there. Looks like it's like a bridge going over, isn't it? Weird. Well, at least I finished my friend's hat and dicky set, whatever. Yeah, I finished it. I don't know whether you saw it, Chris. I finished it. That's a dicky set, and that's a hat from your friend. I'll tell her I've done it, and then she can either call around for it or whatever. Yeah, bridge over trouble knitting. Right, people, I shall say good night to you, and I shall speak to you all very soon. Bye now. Oh, I forgot how I turned off then. Oh, bye, Denise. Bye-bye.